Today I want to talk to you guys about winter running apparel from Tracksmith. .46 miles, 8 minutes, 12 seconds per mile, 149 beats per minute today. On a day that temperature-wise wasn't so bad, we had temperatures just below freezing, but we did have some pretty significant sustained winds, making for some rough conditions out there. But overall, I was having a fantastic time in this Tracksmith winter running apparel. And before I give you my thoughts on these pieces, I do want to go over some disclosures. These are pieces that were sent to me for the purpose of review by Tracksmith. However, they're not paying me to make this video or to use these items, and no one's going to get a chance to preview any of my footage or my thoughts before you guys get a chance to see this video on YouTube. So the disclosures out of the way, let's talk about this Tracksmith winter running apparel. The first thing that I want to talk about is this jacket that I'm wearing. It's the Tracksmith NDO, the No Days Off jacket. Now, No Days Off is their big push that they're making for 2021. Not necessarily telling you that you've got to go out there and run every day or have a tough workout every day, but it's about a commitment to persistence, to pursuing that goal that you have for this year, to committing to your process and getting in there and putting in the work, whatever that is, whether the work is recovery, whether the work is a workout, whether the work is an easy day. Being mindful of that commitment that you're making to your running journey for 2021. That's what the No Days Off means. And this jacket, I think, is a really great piece to help along the way. It is pricey, coming in at just around $300. It is a lot of money for a running jacket, but I do think there is a lot of features that come along with this jacket that will make it very suitable for even the toughest of winter running conditions. Now, typically what I see when I see a lot of winter running jackets out there are jackets that have an interesting shell, but just don't have enough, and you have to spend a lot of time thinking about layering underneath. This jacket is not like that. I'm getting hot just wearing this inside, but the jacket has a lot of great winter specific features to it. One, there's an outer shell, which is wind-proof and water resistant. Definitely very useful for a day like I had out there today, where the winds were very strong and I could feel the winds. They were certainly pushing me back as I was trying to get moving on today's run, but I did not feel it penetrating the jacket at all. I didn't feel it cutting across my body as sometimes winds can when you don't have the right wind protection out there. Now, I was lucky that there wasn't any rain or any other precipitation that was out there today, but I could see when, I had sweat that might have dripped down onto the jacket or any other moisture that kind of got onto the jacket, it instantly beat it up, and I even saw it kind of freezing right on top of the jacket because conditions were a little bit chilly out there. So the outer shell is a fantastic outer shell. It's not the lightest of materials, but it certainly is going to protect you from those harsh winter temperatures. On the interior of this jacket, you've got merino wool that's on the other side of this windproof and water resistant material. So the jacket itself does a really great job of not only keeping all the elements out, but keeping the heat that you want in. But to keep it from being too hot of a jacket, there are side gussets and panels that are of a much more breathable material. So it's going along the side of the jacket all the way to the underarm, so you have a lot of area for heat to escape. It ends down in the cuff, where on this side there is a Tracksmith logo, which I think is a really nice touch there. And it ends with cuffs that end in thumb holes. I didn't need them today because I did have my double gloves on, a thinner layer of glove, plus a winter running mitten on top of that. But it's nice that this cup is here because even when I wasn't using the thumb hole, it made for a nice tight seal so wind or water wouldn't be getting into the jacket through the cuff. So I really appreciate that. Makes for a very snug fit. The collar up top I think is nice and soft, and it's not tight by any means, but when you do zip it up with this nice robust zipper here, I do feel like it's getting nice and snug around the neck in a very comfortable way. Again, preventing any extra winter from getting into the jacket. Definitely going to keep you warm. Overall, I feel like it's a really understated jacket, mostly just a black jacket. There's a giant gray sash across the back of it, letting you know that it is a Tracksmith piece, but that back sash is reflective, so that's also going to be helpful in those winter running months where for the most part it's probably going to be a little bit dark when you're running out there. So definitely appreciate the reflectiveness that's added to it that isn't quite so gaudy and it doesn't look like it's safety gear. There is that little hook or tab that's in the back of the jacket that is so common in Tracksmith apparel, which I also feel like is a nice kind of touch of consistency throughout the line that lets you know what you're looking at, even if you're seeing it from a far distance. So a nice little touch there. There is a little Tracksmith logo right in the lower right hand corner of the jacket as well. So there is some branding to it, but kind of the stuff that if you know what you're looking at, you'll definitely recognize it. But otherwise, to other people, it just looks like a nice understated black jacket that happens to be extremely functional. The one part that I don't like about the jacket is I feel like there needs to be a little bit more attention paid to pockets while running. Now this is a jacket that I think because of the material that's on this outer shell can be used both for running and not for running as well. It's not going to replace my big bubble coat for when I'm just walking around outside in the winter, but I think for a lot of temperatures, a lot of time of the year, at least here in Chicago, this is a jacket that I can wear just going out in addition to when I'm running. And for that use, there's tons of pockets. There's a pocket on each side, easy to get into. There is a phone holder, kind of sliding pocket right here up right on the shoulder that you could slide your phone in. As you unzip the jacket, there's also interior pockets as well, nice and big, so you could drop in a hat, drop in your gloves. If you've like gone somewhere and gone inside, drop the gloves right inside, very easy to reach. And there's even another long, thinner pocket up in here too. So lots of places to stash stuff in this jacket for kind of like a jacket that you live in. But for running, I feel like the one thing that it's missing is more zippers. There is one zipper pocket, kind of a hidden zipper pocket along the right-hand side. There's a regular pocket that you can just slide into that's not zippered. And then there's a very small zipper that you can fit in maybe like your card, maybe a phone in there, some keys, something that you don't need to really access but want to make sure you don't lose from when you're done with the run. But for the rest of the run, unless I'm willing to unzip the jacket, which I don't really want to do in the middle of a long run or a middle of a workout run, there aren't a lot of places to zipper and secure things. So I was putting gels on one in each pocket for the couple of days that I was running and testing out this jacket. 2 days ago, I had 2 gels that I had brought along with me. It was a 10-mile run. I didn't know if it was going to go longer than that, so I just brought an extra gel just in case. It turned out that just in case was really helpful for me. I had 1 gel in each of the pockets. They're not up here, but you can't see my hands down here. So 1 gel in each of the pockets. The one on this side fell out while I was running. It's gone. I don't know where it was. Fortunately, I had the backup on the other side that I could use. So I was so concerned about that on today's run, the 15-miler, I wanted to make sure that I had 2 gels at least with me. So I did bring my flip belt. It fit underneath the jacket just fine. It wasn't too bulky or anything like that. It was really easy to reach back and get the gels from the flip belt that was in there. But I felt like because I can't secure stuff enough in this jacket, I felt like I needed to resort to some additional storage. Overall, I think it's a jacket that looks great, is easy to live with, but also can be extremely functional for your running. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is this long sleeve that I'm wearing. It's the Harrier long sleeve. Now this is a long sleeve that I wore a couple of days ago, not on this run, but a couple of days ago when running, combined with the No Days Off jacket. And the combination of those two things, even on a day where we had 14-degree temperatures, I was really warm. By the time I got back, I was sweaty in the back because I just had too much heat. That's how good that the merino wool that's not only in this shirt, that's 89% merino wool, but that combined with the No Days Off jacket was able to keep me warm and protected through winter temperatures. Now, merino wool is a material that my first experiences with them were in socks, in running socks. I wanted something a little bit warmer. I don't, for me, really notice much of a difference when merino is put in socks. When merino is put onto tops and long sleeve shirts and jackets, I really feel like it makes a substantial difference over technical materials that you might otherwise be running in. And I feel like especially for the winter, if you want a lightweight layer that can still keep you warm without getting too wet when you're running, then merino wool is definitely a material you should be looking for. This is a fantastic one. It fits great. It's got a little Tracksmith logo right here on the cuff, that little pull tab that's on the back for those of you who are into pull tabs. Otherwise, it's a pretty understated shirt, fits well, very soft, super comfortable, and highly functional. So a great long sleeve layer to have. Now, the other thing about the merino wool is that they say that because of the properties of the wool, it doesn't have to be washed after every single run. That has antimicrobial properties, so it doesn't collect odors and doesn't hold on to odors like some of the other technical materials out there can. And so this is something that you can go for your winter run, hang it up, let it air out, and it'll be ready for your next run without it being gross at all. I did put all my new pieces through the wash just to see what it would be like after a round of laundry, but it didn't feel like they really needed it at all. Once it dries out, it just feels like it's ready to go back on again, which I think is a really nice feature for winter running clothes. Those of you who have been running throughout the winter know how quickly those winter running clothes laundry piles can add up. So having the ability to have something that you can run in for an hour, 2 hours, take it off, let it air out, and then put it right back on is really, really convenient. Plus, there are some of those water savings and those energy savings from not having to wash something after every single run that you go on. Next, I want to talk about a short sleeve shirt, and that's this Off-Roads tee. It's a little bit heavier and thicker of a material than the Harrier long sleeve. This has merino wool and tensile fibers. Tensile fibers are a material that I've come across lately that I've been absolutely loving. The combination of the two is really nice. It makes for a shirt that, even though it's a t-shirt, and even though it seems like it's not going to be that warm or that functional as a running shirt, it's very soft and feels very much like your favorite t-shirt. It's still able to perform really well in terms of keeping you warm, but also wicking away moisture. So it's temperature regulating. So I was really impressed with this shirt. I love the color work that's on here, the different colors in the top, kind of in the shoulders and the center back, and then on the sleeves, and then on the front and the lower part. Tracksmith always has such a great eye for color and patterns. You got that Tracksmith patch at the lower part, plus you have a little notch for the bottom of the shirt as well to make it a little bit more breathable, let air flow through the bottom of the shirt. You got the pull tab on the back, so you can always hang up that shirt afterwards. Again, like the long sleeve that I'm wearing right now, this Off-Roads tee has that merino wool and the tensile fibers. Both fibers are very good at not picking up odors, so that you could take that shirt after your run, hang it up, let it air out, and take it out for another run again. You can extend the life between washes so you're not spending as much water. You're not building up that winter running laundry pile quite so quickly. So a very comfortable shirt. It's even got a little bit of a cuff at the end of a sleeve, which I think is a nice touch that seems very retro to me. Reminds me of what we all did to our t-shirts. Well, I don't know if you guys did, but what I did to my t-shirts back in the early and mid 90s. Do people remember that? Was I the only one that did that? I think you guys did that too. You guys did that too. Make me feel better. Let me know if you did that down in the comments down below. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is the all over tight. This is the lined all over tight. Now, I already have purchased previously with my own money a pair of the all over tight, and I've been wearing them all winter long. I have them in blue. Those are not lined, so it's just a regular pair of tights. These are the same tight that I have, but these have a liner in it, just kind of like a lot of running shorts might have a liner. These have a liner in it, so you don't have to wonder, do I wear underwear underneath these tights or not? It's got the pull tab in the back, so again, you can hang them up and dry them, so you're not washing them after every single run if you don't want to. It's got a zipper pocket in the back, big enough to fit a phone, maybe some gels and your keys, that kind of thing. The zipper is, I'll tell you, a little bit difficult to reach when I have, even if I take one of my two gloves that I normally run in, if I take the outer layer off, I have a hard time reaching it a lot of times. So if you're running at speed, trying to reach back for a gel that's in there, it might be a little bit difficult, but if it's something where you're just tucking keys back in there for when you're done with the run, not gonna be a problem at all. It's the perfect size zipper for that. The material that they're using for these turnover tights aren't necessarily waterproof or wind resistance, but they have a little bit of those features to it. We had a lot of windy days here in Chicago this week as I was testing these Tracksmith pieces. I could feel the wind kind of like coming. I could feel like there was cold temperatures around my legs, but it never really did it feel like it was cutting through through. Because of how thin these tights are, I'm always worried that these are just gonna be way too cold to run in temperatures that are below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, especially if it's windy. But all week it's been like that, and these tights were just fine. There's that moment like during my warm-up where I could feel like I'm a little bit colder, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I made the right choice. I think I might need another layer of protection or something a little bit more robust. But by the time I get my warm-up done and I'm getting running, then I feel like these are just fine. They're really working. I don't really even think about them that much. They're just so comfortable and effortless to run in. The other thing that they have on these pants is that there is kind of an interior or side gusset, just like the jacket had the gussets on the side to allow extra heat out. Along the interior portion of these tights, kind of between the legs, there is a similar kind of gusset that allows excess heat to escape. Along the back, you've got zippers to help you get in and out of the tights, even if you want to leave your shoes on. And on the one leg, there is a gold Tracksmith logo, which I think is really nice. A nice little touch there. It's kind of just like a little secret logo that you won't really know even that it's there unless you know what you're looking at. I always love those kinds of touches. Up front, there is a Tracksmith patch. There usually is one Tracksmith patch on Tracksmith clothing somewhere, and here it's on the upper hip on the left-hand side. Overall, these pants are great. There's two things that I would say about them that I don't think that they're necessarily bad, but two things that have been critiques for me, or things that I think about a lot when I'm in these pants. One is that these tights are tight. They're very tight. The blue ones seem to exacerbate this maybe self-consciousness in me more than the black ones seem to, but whenever I'm wearing them, I feel like they leave very little to the imagination when I'm wearing these tights. I'm not saying that they're like too compressive or constrictive, they just are very form-fitting. Something to keep in mind. The other thing about the tights is that there's just not enough pockets for me. There's the one zipper pocket in the back, which I think is fine because then I don't run with my phone, but I'll have like an Apple Watch or something for music and in case of emergencies and I need to text somebody. So that back pocket is usually open. Lately I've been putting a key in there, but if I'm going on a longer run, I'm gonna want some sort of way to put in 1 to 2 gels. So I don't really like to have the key or this thing that I don't wanna lose and I won't need during the run in the same pocket as something that I'm going to be running fast and pulling something out of. I'm just worried that I'm gonna lose my key while I'm out there running. So I wish there was another pocket, something maybe like along the waistband, kind of like they do for summer running shorts, to put the key in, so that way I can have that back zipper pocket free for the stuff that I wanna like access during the run. Or maybe some side pockets, something like that, just so I have a little bit more storage options. That's something that I would like to have. Tracksmith doesn't seem to have, that seems to be their thing. They don't have like a ton of pockets. Onboard storage isn't like a huge thing that you see in a lot of their pieces. So I get it. It's just not how they do things. But for me and the way that I run and the kind of ways that I like to store things as I'm running, I wish that there were more pockets. So that'd be my only, like, not critique, but observation. So those are my thoughts on the No Days Off collection, the winter running collection from Tracksmith. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions down below, or better yet, feel free to stop by the live stream that I do just about every day right here on YouTube. You can always feel free to ask me any question you like there, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. Hopefully you're staying safe out there on your runs, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?